I want to point out something during the doorstop after Pritam's verdict was announced. I think someone asked him, now that you are convicted, do you think you should step down? And I think he gave quite a good soundbite. He said, I think the need of the hour is for me to step up.
Yeah, so I think Pritam is a natural politician.
Right.
I think I've said that many times. He is he's a good orator. He makes good speeches.
Yeah.
He reacts very, very fast. So when he said that it's time for me to step up and not to step down, I think that is a very memeable moment, right? It becomes a meme.
Yeah.
And I think it's these kind of sound bites, can be used and I think Workers' Party are very good at this, very slick in the way they use this kind of memes into a punchline, right, to their advantage. And I think they are probably going to use it during their election campaign.
Right. You met him, I think,
No,
couple of times.
I know him quite well.
coffee.
I've known him for over 20 years.
Right,
I've known him from before politics.
Right.
Yeah.
So he always has that spark in
I
him.
think his biggest weakness was that he's a Manchester United supporter. So me, given that I'm a Liverpool supporter, so when we were young, our biggest disagreements were always about football.
Right.
But unfortunately, during that time, I was always on the losing end because
Yeah.
if you remember 20 years ago, Liverpool was terrible, right? And Man United under Sir Alex was flying high. So but now tables have turned. So.
Yeah.
No, I think that he is a moderate. He's a natural orator. He knows how to be a good politician.
Right.
But of course, now with the court case, there's this Damocles sword that is hanging over him. I don't know how the electorate is going to react to it.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned good politician. I just wanted to point out something interesting also. I think throughout the trial, he was wearing his suit, his long sleeve shirt,
Yes.
But on the day of the verdict, he was wearing a short sleeve blue shirt. Very Workers' Party like.
Yes.
When he came out to do the doorstop, he actually put on the pin, the Workers' Party pin. Do you think that was a sign of something?
I am not sure, but given that the Workers' Party runs a very tight ship in terms of PR and communication, I wouldn't be surprised if it's intentional. But I think we need to also understand that a lot of what the Workers' Party does is actually copying the best practices of the PAP.
Interesting.
Right? So you need to give credit where credit is due, where the PAP has set a very, very high standard. They are the benchmark for politics locally. And a lot of what they are trying to do, what they have done right. So for example, Lau Tia Kiang very smoothly handing power over to Pritam Singh and stepping back, just like how Lee Kuan Yew stepped back for Goh Chok Tong and Goh Chok Tong stepped away for SM Lee, so on and so forth. These are best practices that were set by the PAP, right? And being moderate, being centrist. So, I think we need to give credit where credit is due. I think the PAP has set the benchmark. Let's not over-romanticize what the Workers' Party is good at, what they're not good at. A lot of what they're doing is actually making sure that they're keeping up with the best practices of the PAP.
Right. Would you think that that would make voters, Singaporeans, feel that same but different?
Actually, that is the characteristic of a working Westminster first past the post system.
Right.
Both parties at the center are same but different, right? So if you look at how parties that get into power with the Westminster system in Singapore, Australia, the UK, Canada, any country with a working Westminster system, you'll find that there's not much difference in what they're actually saying, right? One is center left, one is center right, and in fact, I think Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan said that last election, right, that the Workers' Party is basically PAP-like, that they see what the PAP is doing, they take a small step left, but that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, right? So a good cohesive society, a politically cohesive society needs to congregate around the center. Unlike the American system, where that encourages polarization. And it encourages polarization because of the primary system, where the two parties have to campaign on the extremes to appeal to their own party base before they try to meet in the center. But by the time they meet in the center, society has been polarized.
I see. That's a good point. I just wonder where this leave. I guess PSP, Progress Singapore Party.
So, in a first past the post Westminster system, normally there is no space for third party. So there will only be two major parties, and the way it seems right now, it should be the Workers' Party. So if someone wants to stake its claim as a second party right now, they need to make a move now.
Yeah.
Right? So if they're going to make a move now, it's just like business, right? You need to have a differentiating factor. You need to have a USP. So the Workers' Party has staked its claim as a moderate party. If the PSP wants to stake the same claim, it's very hard to differentiate. So I think they have cleverly, or in a way cynically, looked at how politics have shaped around the world, and they have seen that there is a space for a populist party, a populist nativist party, right? All across the developed world, because of globalization, there has been a disenfranchisement of a certain demographic. So I think the PSP has staked its claim as a populist nativist party. There is a space for that in the political spectrum. It's very scary. It's not something that I would encourage, but I think everybody needs a voice.
Right.
I don't think, luckily, that fortunately for Singapore, that they form a majority. I'm not even sure that they form a significant plurality. But I think that's their brand. I think I think SDP has a more difficult time, right? So they've always tried to be the liberal-leaning, Western type democracy, human rights kind of party. I think their demographic is even smaller. I've seen that in the last few years, they seem to be moving away from that. It seems that they are doing they're saying a lot of things that the PSP are saying, right? They become more populist, more nativist. So it'll be interesting how it pans out. But in general, in a Westminster first past the post system, it's just like the Sith lords, right? There cannot be more than two, right? There will be two, and who's going to be the second one?